What's going on, guys? Thank y'all so much for watching another video. All right, so you saw the thumbnail, you saw the title of the video. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and get straight into it. But of course, before we start, go ahead and high five that like button. Let that like button know that you care. All right, and also go ahead and knock out that subscribe button. The subscribe button has been talking a lot of trash. I heard him. He doesn't like you. Go ahead and let him know who's boss. All right, so I want you guys to make sure that you're watching this video in its entirety. This is, well, obviously you're watching every video from start to finish, but I really want you to pay attention to this one. All right, so this is when you're giving a cash offer at the appointment when you're speaking to a seller. All right, now this is leading up to you get that appointment. I have several points here. Make sure you're listening and taking notes so that we can go ahead and get through this. So with that being said, here we go. Number one, you've already run the numbers as you're preparing for the appointment, okay? You base it off of the condition of the property that they said it is over the phone. So you're estimating repairs to be about $25,000, $30,000. And you have your rental formula that you used, and you have your flip formula that you use. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the video that says secret formula. Like, you gotta watch that video. It is powerful, okay? So you already have those numbers. But after you've done your appointment, you've assessed all the damages and everything that's needed. If the house is in better condition than you thought, adjust your numbers. If it's in worse condition than you thought, adjust your numbers. So you want to make sure that you're doing your numbers on site, because you don't want to take photos and be like, okay, well, I have everything I need. I will come back tomorrow or at the end of the week with an offer. I guarantee you, when you're done giving an offer, somebody's going to be coming on later on that day, and they're going to give an offer. They're going to like it, and they're going to get the deal. You're going to come back tomorrow like, oh, hello, oh, house was sold. I didn't know if you still wanted it. So I told you I was coming back to, you know what I mean? So they don't owe you anything. Make sure you're running numbers at the property. All right. Number two, as you've gotten your numbers together, right, you want to ask them for a table or a couch, somewhere where you can relax. You don't want to be running around with your pad and be like, okay, hey, I got a number. It's $152,000. What's up? You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you go to a setting to where it's comfortable. A couch, a table, whatever it is. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about this, right? Because it's a big decision, right? The house that they have, whether they were losing it or whatever it is, they're about to make a six-figure decision, and they need to calm down before it happens. So they need to relax. So find a couch or a table or something to where you all can have a discussion on what's needed. All right, next. You want to go over the repairs. All right. So you want to go over the repairs with them. But before that, I actually skipped one. Number three, you actually want them to know that, okay, you know what? I like the home and I'm interested in making an offer. Okay. So as you know that, they're probably, you don't want to play games with them. You want to be like, I don't know. Let them know, I like it. I like the house and I'm interested in making an offer. So that's number three. Number four, you want to go over the repairs. Okay, so as you're sitting down, it's like, all right, so do you know the house? I love it. It does have some damage on the roof, so we would have to replace the roof. And of course, the floor needs to be redone. And overall, just remodeling in every other room. But your master bedroom is fine. We'd keep it like that. We'll just switch out the carpet. But of course, you see the different holes that's here. So, it's some work. It's not a lot of work, but it's some work that needs to be done throughout the house, right? So you want them to know, like, yeah, your house ain't perfect. Your house is not ready to go. So there's some work that's needed in order to get this house to where it needs to be so it can reach its potential. But you just want to make sure that they're on the same page with what's needed, because they may feel like, oh, nothing wrong with my kitchen. But it's like, yeah, your kitchen is from like 1902. Like, I need to get a 2022 kitchen, right? So you want to make sure that they're understanding what's going to be required in order for you to fix up this property, right? And the reasoning for this offer that you're going to be giving them. All right, so next up, whenever you're giving an offer, okay, you want to give uneven numbers. So say if you know your max offer is 150,000, right? You want to go in and say, okay, I can give you, the offer would be 141,276. 141,276 is a lot better than 145,000. Because 141,276, they're like, oh, okay, well, you've calculated something to get that, because that's a very precise number. And if they ask you how you got that number, you'll tell them, okay, these are the different things that's needed, and based off of our formula, this is what's needed. Now, if they're like, oh, well, can you walk with this? No, nobody's going to ask you, okay, well, can you show me the calculation that you, and if they did, it's like, these are numbers that we work, like, you don't have to get into details, but just know that you have to give them an uneven number, because they'll less likely be like, oh, 140, whatever. No, give me 160, right? They'll at least be open to what you're saying, because there's a reason why your number looks like that. Okay. Next up, you don't want to be too aggressive when it comes to them signing the documents. Okay. So offer them what it is, and if they agree, or if they're on the fence or whatever it is, just let them know, like, okay, just reassure them, yes, we'll be able to close in X amount of days, blah, blah, whatever it is. But if they're like, man, I don't know, I got so many other people that's coming, that's like, okay, well, look, when are they coming? Today? All right, well, look, no pressure. What I'll do is I will go ahead and leave this here with you, and I'll come back tomorrow morning. Or you're going to say, okay, if they're coming tonight, all right, no problem. All right, this is my offer. What time tomorrow would work best for you for me to come by so that you can complete this, right? Now, you don't want to just say, I'll come by tomorrow morning, because if you come by tomorrow morning, nobody's going to be home. You want to make sure that you're letting them know, like, hey, I'll be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Does that work for you? Take out your phone, like 10 a.m. I can do 10 a.m. Does that work for you? And once you do that, then they'll feel more obligated, because they're the ones who agreed to the 10 a.m., right? So make sure that you're doing that as well. Don't be too pushy, and you got to know when to pull back, right? Because if you're pushing and pushing, you're pushing them away. But as you gave a little pressure, let them know what's going on. If they're having a bunch of resistance, then it's like, all right, well, who else is coming? Give some room for them to let you know, like, okay, look, I already told you where I stand with the house, but you're saying you want that? Okay, well, you said other people came. Why didn't you sell to them? Okay, well, listen, if somebody offers you $30,000 more than I'm offering you, please go with them. Because I don't know what numbers they're running, but for what needs to happen in here, no. Hey, please go with them. And once you back up, then they're like, oh, maybe I exaggerate the offer a little bit. Then they'll start second guessing themselves, and they'll try to smoothly work you back in. So make sure you're not pushing too hard. All right, now, once the contract's signed, okay, you also want to work in the third-party authorization form. Now, in most cases, I just get the purchase agreement signed, and then afterwards, I do the third-party authorization form, because it's a lot of paperwork to sign in one day. So whatever makes you comfortable, do that. But the reason for this third-party authorization form is because you want the title company to be able to access or be able to communicate with the mortgage company if there's a lien on a property. You want to make sure that they're able to access them without having to wait 3-4 days for a response. So it depends on the type of rapport that you build. If they seem like very skeptical people, then hold off and wait until they sign the purchase agreement, and then come back whenever you're ready to do your inspection. Then they'll be able to fill out that third party, or you can do that at a later date. But it's very important to get that signed sooner than later, because it could delay the deal closing, and it could just cause it not to close at all, especially if there's a timeline like an auction for that property. All right. So next, once everything is filled out, you want to thank them and continue to build rapport. All right. Just because they signed a contract, they're not dead to you. Okay. You want to make sure that you're following up with them. You want to have conversations with them while they're there after they sign the contract. Of course, you're working your way out the door because you came and did what you're supposed to do. But at the same time, you want them to feel comfortable about you buying their property. Okay, so continue to build rapport. If you're having conversations about dogs and puppies and their grandkids, continue to do that for like another 5-10 minutes. Let them feel good, let them love you, and then work your way out the door, because mission, I wouldn't even say accomplished, mission has begun, because there's a lot more that has to happen after you get that property under contract. But of course, we're talking about giving a cash offer and getting that contract signed. I'll have other videos that will be discussing those other elements, but this is what we're talking about here. You got the contract signed, make sure you go ahead and send that right over to the title company. All right, and lastly, you want to confirm the date and time of when your partners will be able to come and look at the property. The reason why I say partners is because, I mean, maybe they are your partners, who knows? But you want to set up a time to do an inspection with those end buyers. So the reason why it was important to take great photos, which I spoke about in another video, all right, is because you want them to have a clear vision of what that house looks like, but there will be end buyers that would want to come to the property and actually see it, so that they are sure of the purchase that they're about to make. All right, so with that being said, you want to confirm, like, okay, thank y'all so much. All right, just a reminder, so Wednesday at 3 p.m., would that work for me and my guys to come through just to confirm all our numbers are correct? And sometimes I actually ask this question, okay, is that going to change the offer? No, it's not going to change the offer. I just want to make sure that, my partners and the contractors that's going to be doing the work, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page as far as the repairs that are needed, and what it's going to cost to get things going, because we want to go ahead and start with order of materials and things of that nature. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, 3 o'clock. You confirm that, and that's the time and day that you'll give those end buyers, letting them know, like, hey, look, this is the property, these are the numbers, these are the pictures and video. If you're interested, let me know, and make sure that they RSVP so that you have a gauge for how much interest is going on. Your phone will probably start lighting up. You'll probably start getting texts, emails, people saying that they're interested. But make sure in that email that you're giving those end buyers, you let them know, like, hey, look, text me and email me so I know that you are coming. You want them to know. And well, you'll get this a lot. This is interesting. If it's a great property, an investor will be like, okay, look, what time is everybody getting there? 3 o'clock? All right, cool. Can I get there at 1? Take a look at the property, and then, if it works out, we can make something happen, and you can still have that meeting with them. But I want to buy it at the price that you just said. You said 125, right? All right, what if I gave you 125? Would that work? Don't fall for that. All right, let them know, like, look, I want to give everybody an opportunity to buy. It's okay. Well, what price can I offer you to make sure that this goes about smoothly? Unless they're giving you something stupid and ridiculous, well above what's going on, don't take it. If they're like, okay, I know you offer 125, I'll give you 150, and here's a $50,000 non-refundable. It's like, let's have a conversation. But nobody's doing that. All right. So, and of course, you want to make sure that you're maintaining integrity when it comes to dealing with these end buyers. So at the end of the day, let them know, like, look, I'm going to be there at 2:30, but everybody's getting there at 3. If you're there early, that's fine, but I'm not making a decision until 7 p.m. Via email, like I said in the email that I sent to you guys. So once they know that you're serious and that you can't budge, most likely they'll probably still show up early, but then you'll also have other instances to where they'll show up with everyone else. Or they'll be like, I don't like competition. Unless you're selling it directly to me, I don't want to go. Who cares? That's one of 15 people that's going to show up, right? And I've dealt with both people. I've dealt with end buyers that straight up said, if you're not only going to show it to me, then I'm not going to show up. It's like, well, you just missed out on making $40,000. Who cares, right? So, again, those are the steps that you will take as you're making a cash offer to the seller of the property. And rewind this video, watch it a couple times. There are many steps in here, and you want to make sure that you're doing it right. So with that being said, if I provided you guys with any value, go ahead and like the button, and go ahead and slap the subscribe button as well, so that you are notified of whenever I am posting another video. And I cannot wait for y'all to get y'all first deal. With that being said, I'll see you on the next video. See y'all soon.